1990 Ford Transit camper. This is the 2-litre diesel model. Start by having a look at the bodywork. So cosmetically, it does need the odd little job and a little bit of tidy up. It's all nice and tidy on this front wing, but it is missing the stripe. As you can see, there's a little bit of a chip in the front of the door there. And there is some overspray from this wing on that stripe. Some marks on the edge of the wing mirror. A little bit of a reaction there in the paint. A bit of corrosion. Same goes with the bottom of the doors, but the sills are nice and solid. This seam is good at the top, goes down a little bit here where it's flaking away, but it is solid. And then going down the side, it could do with a good polish and a good clean. There's marks, sort of dirt all over it. The seam again is good until you get to about here, bit of corrosion there, sort of around this vent. The arches are solid, as you can see. It's got 4 matching chrome wheel trims on it. Got a bit of bird poo there, that'll come for free with it if you want it. And then you've got your electricity in there. Got a little bit of corrosion along the bottom of this gutter, as you can see. It's got the high top roof on it, the fiberglass high top roof, auto sleeper. Usual corrosion around the hinges, as you see with a Transit. Pretty standard on a Transit of this age. And a bit on the back bumper where it's been bashed into something. It's just sort of caused the paint to react and some corrosion. Same with the hinges on this side. But actually the back doors and everything are all nice and straight. They're not covered in dents or anything like that. Got a bit more corrosion on this gutter here. It's fair to say the bodywork needs a little bit of attention. You've got things like this here. I mean, that will wipe off, but it's just sort of running down. There's a little bit behind that hinge. And then there's been a repair up here as well. Arches are all good. It is solid. It's just cosmetically challenged. Should we call it that? Cosmetically challenged. It's got a bit of silicone there, which has dropped out the bottom of the window. Top of the auto sleeper is filthy. That could do with a really good clean. All the glass is nice and clear. This door has a little bit of corrosion underneath the window and a little bit around the lock. So all the sort of common places on a Transit, just what you'd expect really. Arches are good again. A little bit there on the door. And the seam here is cracked. Chip out on the bonnet there. It's just moisture there, that's nothing too sinister. And then you've got a stone chip that's corroded there, and a couple more. It's fair to say overall, bodywork needs a bit of tidying up. But it does run and drive. It was driven here. It does drive well. I've briefly driven it down the road. And we've had it running while we've sort of photographed it and all that sort of stuff. It does seem to run quite happily. But it isn't rotten. It just needs some cosmetic tidying up. That's the best way of putting it. Inside here, for example, is all good. I've been told it's had 2 new step parts put in, which does look like that's the case. Obviously, the arch and everything's nice. Door shut is clean. Now this had a cover on it when it came in, but we've pulled it off. The seat is nice and clean, but it is torn on this bolster, so that one's repaired or a cover or replaced or whatever you'd rather do. Steering wheel's nice and clean. It's done 85,000 miles, so quite low mileage for a camper of this age. And there's some aftermarket gauges and things added in there, which we'll show you now. So again, it's clean in here, which is normally a rotten area on a Transit, but that is good. The dash is peeled slightly, as you can see. And then we've got an additional voltmeter, fuel gauge, what's left of a clock, that's the fascia's been damaged on it, water temperature, and then it's had a JVC head unit put in. Both seats do tilt and turn, so just like this, you can revolve them to use the tables in the back. And it's had some carpet replaced, but it's not been fitted very well. It's clean and tidy. There's no smells or anything in here. There's no damp, which is nice. It's rained the last couple of days here, and this thing's still dry. So that's the main aim, really. You don't want any moisture getting into these things. So like I say, those 2 seats revolve. You've got 2 tables here which remove. They'll come out on those posts. You've got more folding out parts here. This folds into a bed, as you can see. So you've got this and this that folds into a decent sized bed with those cushions. We'll go and have a poke around, see what else is going on in here. So like I say, nice high roof with the extra windows. I mean, I'm 6'2" and I can stand up, no problem at all. Got some additional lights there. You got a control panel here, so water tank, battery conditioner, 12 volt, water pump, fridge, and some replacement fuses. You've also got this unit here, which we'll check out and work out what that is. An extractor fan, 3-pin plug socket. You've got sort of 2-ring and a hot plate on the hob with this sort of fold down lid so you can use it for other stuff. Electrolux fitted fridge here, which is nice and clean. It's a gas fridge. And then you've got your sink over here with a separate shallow sink, loads of storage, loads and loads of storage. And then you've got your skylight vent here at the back. So yeah, it is a well-equipped thing. You can't see much of a cheaper way of going camping, to be fair, for the price of it. And like I say, mechanically, it seems to be happy enough. So it starts on the button, which we will show you now. So there you go. Fired up on the button, exhaust's under here, no sign of any smoke or anything, no rattles, no squeaks. Like I say, it goes down the road happy enough. It was driven here. We started and moved it almost immediately after we got here. It started no problem at all, so there's nothing to worry about on that. So there you have it, 1990 2-litre diesel Transit camper. If you've got any more questions or inquiries, please get in touch.